Number 25. Love your mom. It's not just the moms that benefit from being in contact with their children, but the children themselves as well. A recent study by Harvard Medical School showed that 90% of people who had weak relationships with their mothers developed serious illnesses by the age of 40, whereas only 50% of those who had strong relationships with their moms did the same. Number 24. Live in the country. Evidently, just living in a rural area can be enough to increase your life expectancy by 10 years. If you do have to live in a city, however, just know that a recent study coming out of Tokyo Medical School showed that living near green open spaces is much more conducive to a long lifespan. Number 23. Take a chill pill. A study done by Johns Hopkins School of Medicine in 2002 showed that men who expressed higher levels of anger when responding to stressors were more than 6 times as likely to suffer a heart attack by the age of 55. Number 22. Be popular. If you want to live to be 100, you're probably not going to make it alone. You need friends and lots of them. If you haven't noticed yet, social contact seems to be a popular theme on this list, which leads right into number 21. Laugh. Watch stand-up, prank your friends, just be a joker. The longer you can keep that smile, the more likely you are to stick around. Number 20. Eat garlic. While it probably won't win you any prom dates, it has been shown to boost your immune system, reduce blood pressure, and even prevent cancer. Number 19. Become Hispanic. Hispanics in the United States have an average life expectancy of 80.6 years, which is over 2 years more than for any other group. But seriously, while you can't just will yourself to be Hispanic, there is at least one closely related thing you can do. Number 18. Learn a foreign language. The point is not fluency, it's the effort that counts. According to the research, this is an excellent way to keep your mind in peak condition. Number 17. Floss. Neglecting this simple habit can lead to bacteria entering your bloodstream by way of infections in your mouth. This has been shown to positively correlate with heart disease and other illnesses. Number 16. Be single. While people will tell you that getting married leads to a longer life, the truth, especially for women, is that singleness can be just as healthy, particularly if you have fulfilling social relationships. Number 15. Make marriage work. Of course, while marriage does often lead to a prolonged life expectancy, especially for men, you're better off staying single than getting divorced. So, if you made the leap, make it work. Your life depends on it. Number 14. Have a big butt. According to a study done at Oxford University, women who have pear-shaped figures with some extra padding around the hips are actually at a lower risk of contracting heart and metabolic diseases. It's all about location though. If that extra weight is around your stomach, it's time to hit the treadmill because your chances significantly increase. Number 13. Eat apples. Evidently, an apple a day not only keeps the doctor away, but the Grim Reaper as well. A study recently appearing in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry described how a certain antioxidant in apples prolonged the life of test animals by up to 10%. Number 12. Don't sleep. At least not as much as you want to. Studies have shown that people with the lowest mortality rate sleep between 6 and 7 hours a night. People who sleep more than 8 and less than 4 are in some sense killing themselves. Number 11. Learn to play the didgeridoo. The point is simple. Do something that stimulates your brain and keeps you inspired. We just figured that if you could go for the hat trick and do something mind-blowingly awesome at the same time, then you might as well. Number 10. Get a pet. There's at least some research out there showing that people who own pets tend to have lower blood pressure and make fewer visits to their doctor. Number 9. Be rich. According to data released by the National Center for Health Statistics, 24% of people with a family income of less than $20,000 suffered from a chronic illness, while the number was only 6% for those making $75,000 or more. So while money certainly can't buy happiness, evidently it can buy healthcare. And speaking of healthcare, we come to number 8. Stop smoking. Big surprise, right? Cigarette smoking is clearly linked to almost every common cause of death in the elderly. Number 7. Squat when you poop. You weren't designed to poop sitting down. No, you were made to poop with your butt hanging down between your ankles. Seriously, think about how you would naturally do it if you didn't have a toilet nearby. You would find a place in some bush somewhere and squat it out. The truth is that this keeps everything straight and prevents things from getting quote-unquote stuck. At any rate, the seated pooping position isn't only responsible for increased hemorrhoids, but also colorectal cancer. Number 6. Be fruitful and multiply. Recent studies have shown that as a woman has more children, her life expectancy increases as well. Psychologists hypothesize that this is probably due to the contact and support she receives as they grow older. Number 5. Stockpile degrees. For all the college kids out there who can't seem to get jobs and keep taking classes in order to avoid being a bum, here's yet another reason to continue racking them up. Evidently, there's a positive correlation between the number of diplomas on your wall and the amount of time you will be around to enjoy showing them off. Number 4. Live through a depression. It might not make up for being unemployed, but know this. A study done by the University of Washington found that economic recessions over the last century actually contributed to a decline in mortality. Evidently, unemployed people tend to let go of expensive vices such as drinking and smoking. Number 3. Win a Nobel Prize. As the famous economist Andrew Oswald once noted, walking across that platform in Stockholm apparently adds about 2 years to a scientist's lifespan. And for some reason it's true. Researchers have found that winners of the Nobel Prize live up to 1.5 years longer than their unrecognized counterparts. Number 2. Move to a Greek island. To be more precise, move to the island of Icaria. Nearly 1/3 of the people there live well into their 90s. Scientists believe that a combination of the Mediterranean diet and an active lifestyle give this little island the highest percentage of non-Nigerians in the world. And number 1. Make a clone army. A clone army of yourself, to be exact. Of course, you'd have to be a real supervillain to recreate yourself for the sole purpose of harvesting organs, but very likely that will not even be necessary, as the military is already doing heavy research into regrowing various parts of the body.